Hello and welcome to another live taping of the Was It Good podcast. As ours, we have an amazing banger song called It's a Simulation, and it makes me wonder what is real and what's not real.
Wow.
I know.
Yeah.
That was my ad-lib intro for the live portion.
Unbelievable.
I thought it was great. Zach is also joining us, Mr. at Zach.
Yep.
Joining us remotely over here.
I just want to say there was like a brief moment in time where I was like, what if this is some like Nathan For You-esque bit that they're doing and they're just going to play this intro song and see how long they can go before I get like concerned that I did something wrong.
Great.
When's this end? But it's a pleasure to join you gentlemen. As always, an honor. So I'm excited.
Yeah, good to have you back.
Wow, he's honored. He's honored to join us. I've never heard those words from anybody.
That's true.
Ever
That's
in
true.
my entire life.
Not even our parents, man.
No.
Yeah, that's true.
And like, they're our parents, and they're supposed to be the numero uno fans. But Zach, I think you just topped them. So
I appreciate it.
Zach is number one fan.
I love
I
it.
assume I'll be replacing them as far as who you're getting for Christmas. So, you know.
Well, then that means
If
you have to
have a
also.
line on a PS5, that's what I want.
I was about to say you're gonna need to, get us all extras. I think it's that time we're gonna start this pod.
Start the recording.
Yeah, we're gonna start recording here. And then also those watching, we are gonna announce the winner of our 2 Star Wars ornaments. But that will be right after the pause, so stick around for that. The contests are still open, so if you want to go head over there and just find those tweets or Instagram posts, just follow, like, comment, you'll be entered to win. Appreciate that. So let's start with this intro that Krishna wrote that Ravi has not read.
Wait, you didn't read it?
Even though I said literally 5 minutes before we started, I was like, I should probably read this. I forgot.
I think there's a beauty in it.
I was playing with my...
That's the wrong franchise.
Because we're talking Star Wars, right?
Yeah, that's Star Trek.
It's a gun.
Krishna, are you wearing like some type of desert camo?
Yes.
He's trying to blend in.
It's a Grogu and Mandalorian
Okay.
Quill.
shirt. Quill. Rest in
Quill.
peace.
All right, here we go. Gotta stretch first.
Yeah. What are you doing?
I don't know. Hello, we are Was It Good, and today we're discussing Chapter 15 of The Mandalorian, The Tragedy. As always, lots and lots of spoilers ahead, so if you haven't seen the latest
Hold
Mando
on,
episode...
It's not called The Tragedy.
It's not?
It's called The Believer.
Wow,
Last week's
Krishna.
was the-
Oh,
was-
tragedy.
Dang, Krishna.
Yeah,
Maybe I should have read this first.
You clearly should have.
I just was
I
powering
remember
through it.
specifically it's called The Believer because I made the joke
Oh,
that
Believers.
I'm a believer too.
Yeah.
Well,
you were
we
hoping
watched
Justin Bieber would show up.
He didn't, and he didn't die.
That's the
Sad.
great thing about these
In the episode.
Oh, I was like, whoa,
In the episode,
whoa.
in the episode.
That was dark as fuck.
Oh, God.
All right, let's try this again. Here we go. Take 2. Fucking hell, man. All right. Hello. We are Was It Good, and today we're discussing Chapter 15 of The Mandalorian, The Believer. As always, lots and lots of spoilers ahead, so if you haven't seen the latest Mando episode, get your ass out of here and don't come back until you've done what you're supposed to do. As always, I'm your host, Ravi, and I'm joined by my 2 brothers, Krishna and Arjuna. And we have a very special guest, Zach Schwartz, or if you know him by his Twitter handle, at Zach. I don't know why you don't just have it as Zach69, to be honest.
I wish. I
Was-
wish.
was it
It
taken?
should be. It was. So is Zach 420. But you know, I aspire to be able to reclaim one of those from someone someday. So we'll see.
Is that when you? Because a lot of people like when they get into going on the internet and being a air quote influencer or being a host or like level like having like a level of like success. Is that where you, Zach, are like, hey, I've made it. I'm successful.
Well, the truth is, before we did Dunk Bait, I reached out to someone at Twitter to secure a better Twitter handle because I had Zach is Zach, and I just was I wanted to change it up. And I tried to get at Schwartz, which is my last name, and I got like 3/4 of the way through, and then they're like, oh, some business already has a claim on it. So I think that's the next one that I'll somehow take. But yeah, we're getting there. Zach is out there. Now I got it.
I mean,
So,
Zach is great.
I mean,
that's a
it was
great
some
name.
guy.
For
It
Twitter.
was some guy who loved like mudding and like off-roading in his truck and hadn't tweeted in like 5 years. My colleagues at work were like, that guy's gonna find you and he's gonna run you over in his mudder truck for stealing his handle. But I'm still alive, so maybe maybe that's not happening.
What a way to go that would be.
Yeah.
To get killed over a Twitter handle and you run over by a tough mutter or off-road.
Isn't that
off-road
the only
vehicle.
way to go?
Yeah.
I mean, after that, yes. I mean, that's a good way.
Speaking of ways to go, terrible transition, but we're going to jump into The Mandalorian because that's what we're all here for.
We are.
Not
Yes.
Zach's handle, unfortunately. Zach, that's going to be a separate episode and series and
Yeah, I
podcast and the
can
whole
see.
thing.
Is the handle bad?
Taking the handle back. There we go. That's a good title, actually.
Yeah.
So Mandalorian, The Believer, an interesting episode. The last episode, or the episode just before the season finale
Penultimate.
here. The penultimate episode, thank you. Before everything finally ends and we have to spend another year of not having Star Wars content. Just kidding.
Just
Just
kidding.
kidding. We will get to all that beautiful extra Star Wars content that was announced towards the end of this. I guess let's go around and kind of like sum up the episode in our one-word impression here. How would you kind of recap this episode? Christian, you look like you're ready to go. So
Yeah.
we're gonna start with you because you're bald.
My recap, you just stole my thunder. My one-word impression is bald.
Is it really?
Yes, it is. And because
sense.
this episode had two very, I think, incredible bald characters. It had Bill Burr's character and it had Boba Fett.
Migs.
Minx?
Mayfeld.
Mayfeld. Okay, that's the name I think most of us know him by. The two great characters. I thought personally that Mayfeld kind of stole the show. Bill Burr, I think, was
Bill Burr.
Bill Burr. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
He's just so different than every other character in the series. Like they all have this like history and this gravitas about them. And then there's Bill Burr, who's just like irreverent. And as we learned in this episode, he does have a history as well, and he does have some heavy stuff with him. But the way he's navigates everyday life is just so different than almost every other character in the show. So that element that he brings is I love it. I just love it so much. And it's great that it's only one episode a season. It's perfect. He comes in like lightning, boom, one episode and he's out. It's great. And then of course Boba Fett. Boba Fett was Boba Fett. Two great bald characters.
So to go back to Bill Burr, there was this movie that came out earlier this year called The King of Staten Island
Oh yeah.
with Bill Burr and Pete Davidson.
He did. Yeah.
And Bill Burr plays like this firefighter in New York of the episode. And for some reason, as I was watching this entire episode, I just thought that he was essentially that character in Star Wars.
Nice.
And I was like,
It's
I
so funny.
think he
I had
is.
the same thought. I had the exact same thought. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I had the exact same thought sitting there watching. I was like, when's Pete Davidson going to walk in here and do something destructive?
I was like, to spoil the movie.
No, don't. I've not seen that movie.
Bill Burr's character gets a back tattoo from
Damn.
Pete Davidson at the end. I was just like, I wonder if he still has that back tattoo.
But that was in the movie. It wasn't real.
It's
Right?
all real.
No, movies aren't real, Arjun.
How do you know?
You think Boba Fett's real?
Oh my god.
Why not?
I mean, yeah, I guess. How would you not know? Zach, how would you kind of sum up this episode in one word?
I was happy. I think I was happy with the episode as a whole, and it's no surprise. I thought it was a bit ironic that they finally set foot in a cantina, and that Grogu finally isn't there to stuff his goddamn face. It's every little twist and turn. That little thing just decides to eat and eat and eat, and finally they're in a restaurant. Not really. I guess they're in the calf, the mess hall, and who's not there to enjoy it. But I thought the episode as a whole was really strong, and really liked it. I thought Bill Burr was wonderful, and would really like to see him kind of continue as a reoccurring character.
Would you want to see him in a spin-off?
Shut up.
of Star Wars?
Just stop.
Because if so, there's a pretty good chance it's gonna happen.
That's a strong
Well,
possibility.
actually, let's jump ahead real quick. I mean, we won't talk fully about all of the new amazing Arjuna Star Wars content that's coming, but there is one particular series set in the Mandalorian time frame called was it Rangers of the New Republic?
Power Rangers.
Basically, when I saw that, I was like, wow, that the actual title card graphic kind of looks Power Rangers-esque.
Nice.
So that's cool. But Arjuna made this funny joke of like, I think it was episode 2 episodes ago or whenever.
Oh, the Cara Dune, Carl Weathers episode, right?
Yeah, the one that directed by Carl Weathers. At the end of the episode, Cara Dune is presented with a badge to become essentially, a marshal of the New Republic. And Arjuna was like, "Oh, this is a great way, that they to do one of two things: either write her character out of the Mandalorian or give her a spin-off series." And lo and behold, she's getting a spin-off series.
Called it.
But what's interesting though is like a Bill Burr character, Mayfield, could potentially show up in that new series because we definitely saw a lot of, I think, mutual respect. She started off very much disliking him because Mayfield was Imperial scum at one point, and then obviously with one amazing kapow, blew up an entire mining operation.
And now they're lovers. Now they're gonna have a kid, and he'll get a whole Star Wars trilogy himself when he
the
Mayfield
line. You have the Skywalker line on one side. You got the Mayfield line.
Mayfield Dune line. I'm saying it's gonna happen.
Oh man.
I just want to say they made the Space Marshal the wrong person. I mean, you've got Tim Oliphant just kicking rocks on some other planet, and you don't make him the Space Marshal. I during quarantine, I rewatched Justified. One hell of a show. Make him Space Marshal Raylan Givens. What are we doing? Why not?
I mean, that's a separate spin-off, Zach.
I would watch Space Justified. Give me that.
Space Justified.
That's coming. That's coming 2022. They couldn't secure Timothy for 2021.
Oh no.
It's coming later.
That's the second half of 2021. Everything we got was the first 3 months.
You're right. You're right. Absolutely.
Yeah, when they were doing the announcement, it wasn't the next few years. That was a typo. It was the next few months.
Yeah.
In the next 3 months, you will get 10 Star Wars series.
I'd be okay with that.
Oh, that sounds.
I do not feel. I don't feel like I'll get bored or fatigued. I'd be very, very happy.
Oh. Okay.
I don't believe you. Really?
Yeah,
I don't believe you for a second.
Yeah. I don't believe it for a
well,
second.
you know what's beautiful? We'll never know. So.
Yeah. Thankfully.
I got breaking news right here.
Oh,
I mean, I guess the one way is you guys could, freeze me in time or something, or speed up time, or
put you in
transport me to the future when all this is readily available, and then I could sit there for a month and watch everything. But I still think I would be very much into all of it. So I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, will we? You figured out time travel there, buddy?
No, I haven't figured it out yet.
Moving back into the one-word impressions, I think for me, I actually kind of thought about this for once ahead. Yeah. It's not actually one word, it's a phrase, so you have to give it to me.
Cheating.
No, we don't.
Long live the Empire is what I'm going to go with. Yeah. Or fine, Empire.
There you go. I think Empire works, I think, for where you're about to go.
Thank you. And I think the big one is, in this episode we have Mayfield, we have a tank trooper armored-esque Mandalorian fighting off pirates as they're trying to destroy, the mining stuff, and everything kind of looks like they're all about to die. They've got their thermal detonators. The music's all very, very dramatic, and then the music kind of cuts to this like hype, long live the good guys type of music, and we get these TIE fighters coming in, shooting the pirates, saving these two, and then you have like
everyone's saluting,
and then you have the stormtroopers running out and shooting, and like I did it. I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, the Empire, hells yeah, these guys they're here to win it. They are awesome.
They're heroes.
Man. They're heroes. They are the heroes.
I couldn't get over them saluting. and then not only saluting, once they get inside,
that was gonna be my original one word, but now it's over.
Oh well, so saluting, and then they get inside and they're getting like slapped on the back, and I think I turned to like you guys, I was like, this is the happiest bunch of stormtroopers we've ever seen. They're so happy, like they're cheering. They're getting drunk later, and they're all excited about that.
So I think it kind of plays into the theme of the episode of my new one word that I just came up with, perception. And the reason I use perception is because I think this episode shows you, a little bit of the other side. A lot of Star Wars shows you from the Rebel Alliance and the quote-unquote good guys. But this shows you kind of a peek, especially with Migs and then them infiltrating this Imperial base. just the other side of like, well, there's not as much of a difference necessarily as you think. Everyone thinks they're doing the right thing. And the Empire, I think, purposefully in this episode was portrayed almost like the ragtag rebels, right? It was mismatched armor, dirty plates, kind of not the organized, prim and proper Empire we're used to seeing. It's almost like they're the Rebel Alliance in this episode. They're the good guys, especially with the music cues and how everything was kind of presented. And I think it's something Star Wars it's been long overdue for Star Wars to do. They kind of played with this idea in Episode 8 with the whole Canto Bite thing and the Benicio del Toro character of like everyone's good and everyone's bad, and like you have the rich people supplying both the good guys and the bad guys. So what does it really mean? It means nothing. And so I kind of like that they reintroduced this idea, especially with the character of Migs, especially in his first appearance and Mando's perception of him. He's just this bad guy. And I think by the end of this episode, everyone's a shade of gray. And they've, that's kind of a good thing they've continued to portray in this show, that it's not the traditional, like, I'm good and I'm evil.
Right.
And now we fight.
And you can even extend that to the seemingly innocent creature in all this. Even Grogu eating like the fish lady's eggs, like Zach, and also Zach reminded me
he's a
of
monster
something.
for that.
Yeah. Zach, you actually remind me of something, because you're right.
Sure.
Every other time we see him, he's eating. Do we think he could be like 300 pounds when he grows up?
Is he like a Snorlax in
like
training?
he'll be he's gonna look like Snorlax. Yeah, exactly.
Zach, I think this is also the time where I kind of want you to drop your, like, we have a section here called hot takes, and I want you to drop your hot take on the child. And for our listeners, for our viewers, please, viewer discretion is advised.
Okay. Well, I think he's just this garbage can that just sucks down and is like a leech eating everything in sight. And it's like, dude, come on. We have things to do. Are you kidding me? Like, even a small child would recognize, hey, now's not the time to be asking for graham crackers. Things are going on. That was the first issue I had. The issue for me with this specific season has been sort of, there have been episodes that have felt very cheap to me, not like from a story and plot, from literally like the sets and physical looks of some of the episodes. They've just looked cheaper than the first season. Specifically the one where they're like running up the hill trying to save Grogu. Like it just, the whole of that episode looked cheap. This episode, that was not at all the issue. I thought this episode was beautiful and they did a nice job with it. The biggest issue I had with this season, though, has been that every episode has felt like they have the overarching goal, and it's been so predictable in that they have these bullshit weird side missions. It's just like the things you have to do in Grand Theft Auto, where it's like, all right, now I'm going to fight the boss. And then it's like, oh no, sorry, cousin, I need you to deliver my mail. And it's like, no, he's like right there. I'll just go kick his ass. It's like, no, cuz you got to deliver the mail. And it's like, all right, we'll go deliver the mail. And that's where it's frustrated me. And the last thing, and I do want to say, I do like the show. And I think the issue for me is that, like, I had in my mind, it was like, it is such like it could be such a Game of Thrones as far as like how well it could be done, is that there is, and now I do appreciate what you're saying with the gray zone, and I do enjoy that they're showing depth to the characters, and that it's not this like, I'm evil and I'm good. But I do need someone to be fucking evil, and there isn't that. Like, I get that Moff Gideon I'm saying that correct?
Yes.
Like, all right, dude, we brought in Space Gus Fring. I'm here for it. Make him do some fucking terrible stuff. Like, I need reminders. I need to see him, like, drop him on a planet and have him torch a hospital. I don't know, but like, give me the spice.
See the Joker?
Yes, I need things like that to be like the stakes. I need elevation of the stakes from at least a villain's perspective, because the series as a whole, or the whole of the IP, has always had these unbelievable villains, and I just think you're in a day and age where you could make it so great. So sorry that went on a bit of a rant, but
that was great.
Zach, all I have to say is
yes!
I agree 100% with everything you just said.
I'm sorry. You
literally-
want them to have Gideon drop, what was it? An airplane on a hospital?
No, not necessarily that. But I definitely agree with Zach with the stakes. That's why my bold prediction, which I was laughed out of the room for, was that he would kill Ahsoka just to do something, just to literally show some fucking stakes. And even in this episode, I liked it. But again, no stakes. They shot a officer in the fucking base, and no one got even a blaster shot. What the fuck?
Hey, hold on. Mando, but Mando's like armor did break earlier. And his arm was hurt.
Cool.
He was like, "Oh, my arm."
Like, kill somebody, Jesus.
You, sir, are so violent.
This is a children's
Yes, thank
show.
you.
Okay, but Star Wars traditionally has never shied away from killing characters. From Obi-Wan in Episode 4, Han Solo in Episode 7. All the original characters in the sequel trilogy all die. Mace Windu, all these prequel characters, like they don't shy away from killing people. It's just weird that the show, which claims it's Star Wars, isn't doing one of the most Star Wars things by actually having stakes and killing people.
And also characters losing hands.
Yeah,
I think
like,
in every
something.
series,
Like,
characters
fucking
lose
do
hands
something.
and
Like the biggest,
no one's lost a hand
biggest,
yet.
the biggest thing that's been lost, I guess you could say, is Grogu, but we all know they're gonna get him back. Is the Razor Crest blowing up, and that's like, oh, cool, it's a ship that blew up.
I was hurt by that. Like, how dare you? How dare you? Why do my feelings mean nothing?
They mean nothing.
Fuck you.
I will say this to Zach's point. We have seen so little of Star Wars Gus Fring.
It's true.
Moff Gideon. Like I think he's had 3 scenes total, 4 scenes maybe, and every single time it's just been him looking at the Dark Troopers, maybe talking to an officer. He hasn't actually done.
I will say this.
anything.
I will say this for Giancarlo.
That is
Esposito.
true.
Good for you for making that paper doing. You deserve it.
Dude,
But
like
also,
Steve Nash-esque.
oh yeah, but also he's capable of doing so much.
He's
more.
a fantastic actor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, he did more in his 1 episode and cameo in 7 last season than he's done all of this season. And he's been in many more episodes of this season.
Let me ask Zach this. Just it's not really a counter because I actually agree with most of what you said, at least to some level. Grogu. Most people they watch the show for Grogu, Baby Yoda, the child, whatever you want to call him,
The green thing.
the green thing. We did see last episode Moff Gideon kind of torturing the kid. Maybe not personally, but he
Mentally, for sure.
He was allowing them to like torture him. So to a lot of people, that would be the same level as him blowing up a hospital. Your words, not mine. So is that what would you say? What would you say to those people? Is that enough? Or yeah.
First of all, I would like to say that I refer to the child as the space grouch, like Oscar the Grouch, just green thing. That's no. I'll be honest. I thought it was like it is such it's such an adorable character, and they've done such a wonderful job with it. I wish there was like I guess a little more delivery with him, and maybe I'm just being impatient. But like. Would I say, like, maybe if Moff Gideon maimed the child, I would be more like, oh my God, this guy's a real piece of shit. Yeah, I would probably say yes. I don't know, like, the way they've set it up, it's going to be like, oh, Moff Gideon isn't giving him the pimento and cheese, sandwich that he wants. Oh no, like.
He's not giving him the frog.
But here's the thing, though. It's like, Star Wars is not Game of Thrones, right? Like,
Sure.
Game of Thrones is, yes, you expect motherfuckers to be impaled, beheaded, tortured, everything under the sun that's god-awful and terrible.
We have tortured
Star Wars, though, yes, we have killed characters off for sure.
And tortured them.
What have we who have we tortured to a point where it's like
episode 4, Leia gets tortured by a torture droid.
right off screen?
Rey gets tortured by Kylo Ren. Luke gets tortured by the Emperor with Force lightning.
but then we saw
Leia got sex trafficked in one of the movies.
It's very true.
Hey, it was
That's
different.
a great point.
It was
And
a
they
different
sold a lot of toys.
different
Let
time.
me tell you.
Different
A lot
time.
of toys,
different.
a lot of
But we've
posters.
seen like that's all like physical abuse. We've seen the child be kicked by the scout troopers in episode
Punched. He was punched.
chapter 8. Yeah, but that's physical beating up the child and and whatnot.
Yeah,
But I just feel like with Moff Gideon, right?
lose a hand.
We're told constantly that he's a bad guy, but we just haven't seen him do the things. Darth Vader looks dark and menacing, but at least in that first movie, you see him kill the mentor of the main character, right? He kills Obi-Wan. That shows how menacing.
Technically, Obi-Wan went to the Force and became part of the Force, so he didn't actually die.
He struck him down.
Strikes him down, and that's a huge implication to Luke, right? This is his mentor. The guy's supposed to be training him. He just told him literally a day ago, but he's a fucking space wizard, and now he has no mentor, right? Like, that's huge. Like, those are huge implications. That shows how amazingly powerful of a character Darth Vader is.
Okay.
Right? You haven't had that with Moff Gideon. All you have is just a bunch of characters being like, "Oh yeah, that Moff Gideon, he's a bad man. He's a bad guy. He's real bad."
I just want to say, I knew having Zach was going to elevate Arjuna's
I feel empowered.
Position. His
yeah,
position.
It's going to empower him, and that is exactly what has happened.
Moving on here, let's see if we can bring Arjuna down a couple notches here.
Oh,
so
boy.
Zach, Arjuna does a fun thing here. I'm not sure how old you are, or if you remember these things back in the day. They were called DVD chapters.
Okay. I do remember those.
So Arjuna likes to go through and he does basically he creates a chapter listing for the episode. So I'm going to power through these. There's
Real quick, can I just say something? So the chapter listing, it's not like your traditional chapter listing. We've had a lot of complaints from recent guests being like, this isn't concise enough, and like not a chapter listing, things repeat itself. I call it a chapter listing because it's just a way to recap the episode, essentially. That's all I'm saying.
Anywho, so he decides to create 21 chapter listings.
It was a little heavy.
It's very, very heavy here. So
long.
Arjuna, that's almost. I just want to say it's almost a chapter listing per minute.
Yes.
The episode was,
the episode was like 30.
You got 21 chapter listings every minute. Guess it's so chapter.
You know, you just can't rush genius. Okay.
Anyway, so Zach, I'm going to run through these real quick. I want you to basically give me your quick initial kind of gut reaction. Does it make sense? Is this complete batshit insane?
What do you get through them all?
As I go through, feel free to jump in and interrupt me, okay?
Just interject. Okay.
Just interject.
Okay.
All right. So here we go. This is Arjuna's DVD chapter listings for Mandalorian Season 2, Chapter 15, The Believer. The Believer. Oh my God, Arjuna. Pajama party on the prison junkyard planet.
Wow.
Wow, Cara Dune is in a lot of this season. Am I right?
Yeah, I agree. Too much, as some might say.
We're in a rush, but Boba had time to shine his armor up. By the way, I just want to say that armor looks fucking amazing now, and Disney did a great job of making me want to buy something more. So, good job there. I'm from fucking Worcester, kid.
Worcester, the way you spelled it too, that could be a planet. Like on Star Wars, like
I'm from Worcester.
How do you think they come up with planet names in Star Wars?
Oh, but
My grandpa's from Worcester.
yes. It's like
My girlfriend is named Hannah, and when we were on the phone, he's like, "So how's your girlfriend Hannah?" Hannah.
Face recognition technology has gotten really advanced, you know? New gray trooper armor to build out. Keep it secret, keep it safe.
oh my God.
That kid right there, he's gonna be a star in Star Wars. I can't now not like reading this. Like,
I know you.
Shit.
That was the whole point.
You fucked me up.
Yeah.
Sorry if for those listening, if you can't understand what I'm saying, it's that whole Worcester thing. Explosions, they're bad for you. Bill Burr screaming for what feels like 50 minutes. Pirates of the Aliens. Yay, the Empire. Sorry?
Oh, no, I agree with that one. That was just another version of the Grand Theft Auto thing. Like, why did they need to be there? And I get it, because I did appreciate cheering for the Empire for once. Like, I was very much like, yeah! And then I was like, oh, no, those are TIE fighters. Like, this should go back down in my pocket.
Listen to this title. Yay, the Empire saved the day. Wait a second.
Yeah.
Is the Empire kind of like the rebels now, the lovable underdogs?
Yeah. Just like the We Believe Lakers.
Yeah.
That's okay. I want that as a Photoshop job for those listening and watching. Somebody put a "We Believe Lakers" logo on a trooper armor.
On the stormtroopers.
We
Yes.
believe Empire.
We believe Empire's up there.
Yeah.
It's great.
Put on your fucking mask, Bill. Pedro's making his paper this episode.
Oh yeah.
Brown eyes. Oh my god. Brown eyes. The masshole and the guy lacking in vitamin D get a drink together.
That's a good one. Well done.
That was a great one.
Yeah. Well
Kill the Empire scum. Hi, I'm Boba Fett, and I'm a fucking badass. Don't you ever forget it. Bye, masshole. We're too cheap to write a new script, so just have Mando saying Moff's line from last season. Everybody will love that, and we'll get a writing Emmy.
what? What?
No baby, no baby.
Wow.
That was our
Yeah,
Jude.
that's,
I'm gonna say this is probably your best one yet. I was a
Yeah.
little hesitant.
That was so good.
Yeah, like being that there were 21 titles. I thought this was going to be redundant, but you did a good job.
I will say
It was amazing.
Zach is the first guest we've ever had to say anything positive about my chapter list.
That's not true. Everyone has said something positive about at least one in there.
That's true. That's
So.
true. Considering I
But
write these,
Zach is overwhelmingly.
considering I write these in about 3 to 4 minutes,
Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll take
Yeah.
it.
Well, that's what you want. You want to put tons of thought. You want to just kind of be rapid fire. So
Yeah, you want to go with
that.
you want to go with your gut reaction, and like what you remember and what stands out. That's
Like
what I
it.
did.
Like it. So I want to talk about real quick the title of this episode. It's called The Believer.
The
right?
believer.
And looking online, watching the show, having our own thoughts. One would argue or question who is the believer in this episode. Are we talking about the Mandalorian becoming a believer in, personal hygiene and maybe airing it out once in a while? Are we looking at the Empire and seeing that they still truly believe in, mass murder? Are we looking at Cara Dune and she's a believer that not all Imperial scum are scum? Like, who do we think is the believer, or was this just kind of a big...
Everyone's a believer.
Everyone's a believer.
I think it's mostly actually about Migs. Migs is the believer by the end of it.
Believer of what, though?
I think he's the believer. I think it's interesting because this episode, the two main characters in this episode are Migs and Mando, right? And they both definitely have a lot of character development throughout the episode. It's very much a buddy cop type of episode, right? It's these two guys, they're chumming along, they go through some stuff, things happen, you blow up ships, pirates attack, just a usual day of work. But I think Migs just becomes a believer almost in himself, right? Because I feel like he talks about I can sleep well at night, but he doesn't necessarily believe it at the beginning of the episode. But I think him redeeming himself, kind of coming to terms with what happened with his previous unit, basically going on a revenge killing spree, blowing up the base.
And real quick,
he sleeps better.
And let's talk about that. So, Zach, I'm not sure how familiar you are with the Star Wars Battlefront games, but there is a reference to the game in this episode when Bill Murray's character Mayfield is talking to the Imperial officer. He realizes that Imperial officer was was his commanding officer during an Operation Cinder. So Operation Cinder, real quick, is when Papa Palpatine, got kaboomed, or when he went down the shaft and then went pop and died. His final plan to the Empire was go and wreak as much fucking havoc across the galaxy as humanly possible. Specifically, they had satellites around certain planets that would go in and turn the planet's, I believe, atmosphere and weather into firestorms, and it would burn and kill and destroy people, planet, the whole shebang. So that's where...
So you mean like he was asking for them to do global warming?
Essentially, yes. Do global
Operation
warming on a
Cinder.
galactic
Ooh, I
scale.
like it.
So that's where I think Bill Murray's character is. Obviously, he has the most horrors, the most PTSD is from the events of that thing. And I did want to kind of bring this up specifically with you, Zach, because obviously, we're uber nerds. I know that piece of information. So knowing that and then seeing Bill Burr's character's reaction, it makes sense to me. But you're all just hearing Operation Cinder, which could mean anything. Could be Palpatine's plan was to put cat litter everywhere. That would piss probably a lot of people off. That shit stinks. So I just wanted,
and the cats would piss on it.
Yeah. So like when you heard that, did you get did you feel that it was as impactful, or was it to you just kind of a cool a line?
I thought, because they're obviously they are very considerate of the whole of the series or the whole of the Star Wars universe. So I figured it was something that was going over my head, but I was able to appreciate it in just the, Bill Burr did a great job in the episode acting wise, like the sort of character change and growth that he was able to depict from the beginning of episode to the end. That was amazing. And then obviously in that conversation, his ability to kind of show the like anger and frustration and kind of horror of what went on in that. I thought that was brilliant. And so though I didn't, the reference, which by the way, I very much appreciate having that now laid out because went right over my head. But even without some of it, you knew that there was a much larger, obviously, thing that had happened just off of his reactions.
And then speaking of, well, actually, before I jump into obviously the Mando, I guess it is part of the same conversation. So the Mandalorian, Din, he takes off his helmet because he's trying to save his child, his little green thing. I think first of all, shout out to Pedro Pascal. The initial reaction of him taking the helmet off, and then you can see how physically uncomfortable he looks. Like, I feel like we've all been there. Like, whenever I was in school, I had to give a presentation. That's how my face looked the entire time.
Constipated?
Yeah, basically. I mean, that's an acting term. It's either you spit on people or you look constipated.
Oh, wow.
You're an actor now.
Yeah. I didn't know you had that. You could bring that knowledge.
Are you
to the
Pedro's?
table.
Are you Pedro's acting coach?
I'm his stunt double.
Oh.
He's your like protege.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He's your understudy.
I mean, he like I said, he made his paper this episode. He really had to act.
So my question with that was obviously, so the Mandalorian, he's breaking his big creed.
Yeah.
Mayfield asked the same question in the tank as they're going in. Is it you're not supposed to take your helmet off, or is it supposed to be people can't see your face, or is it you can't take off the Mandalorian helmet, which is it's two different things? He obviously reveals his face to a computer scanned his face, which I feel like has implications down the road because it's not like it's a scanned face. It lives on that terminal and then it's done. That's some part of some database.
No, you're right.
So, like, do you think that we're gonna now start seeing more of Pedro's face in the next episode, next season? Is he changing as a cultist?
Can I take a victory lap really quick? Because when the show first started and I was at the Yahoo offices, I said to Ravi, you don't pay Pedro Pascal, who is a very handsome bloke, to have a helmet on this whole time. And he goes, he's not taking the helmet off. You have to understand the show and this and this and this. And I go, I appreciate that, but if you look at the man, he's far too handsome.
Yes,
and then the helmet came off, obviously, in season 1. And I didn't think it would come off, I'll be honest, a second time just because of how long it took. So I guess we were both sort of right, but I did. It was a sweet gratification when that happened. But
I think there's a key. There's a key line from Migs, and when they're in the tank, and he's like, "Everybody has a creed. Everybody follows something until it gets tested, right? And then you
cross that line.
You cross that line, right? And I think that's what's happening. You're seeing this slow, gradual evolution of a character, the Mandalorian, and he's changing. He's had a lot to think about in this season. It's been small and subtle, but it's been there, right? He's met other Mandalorians who have different He's realized that not all Mandalorians are the same. He's met different types of Mandalorians in Bo-Katan and Boba Fett. He's become more attached to Grogu and the child, right? He was supposed to, when we first met him in episode 1, season 1, he's this, he's a bounty hunter. He's this hardened guy who does what he, does for the other Mandalorians on the planet.
For the creed.
That he lives on. And that, he's changed from that episode 1 to now episode 15. So it's him changing. It's him evolving. And I think, he's never going to be like, I'm just not going to wear my mask. because I think that would be too drastic of a character change. But
This quickly, at least.
yeah,
Well,
I
also
think-
that
I
thing
think
is-
there will be something there.
The thing is also Beskar, and I mean, we've seen him use it to defeat enemies and protect himself. It would be kind of stupid.
Yeah, he's not particularly good at dodging bullets, so he definitely needs all that Beskar.
I am going to say I get the impression, or I have the feeling, a force feeling, that
Oh, boy.
The face reveal of Pedro Pascal will be a once-a-season recurrence, kind of like Bill Burr entering once a season. Like, it'll happen once a season. He'll be forced to take his helmet off, and, Pedro Pascal will make his paper in that episode. And every other time you see Mandalorian, it's probably a body double, and we're just getting his voice. I think it's a once a season thing.
I think it happens again next episode. If I had to do a bold prediction, that'll be when he has the inevitable
When he's captured?
When he has the inevitable dark saber versus the Beskar steel spear battle with Moff
Moff
Gideon
Gideon.
and kills him and gets the baby. He'll have his helmet
Oh,
off.
you think Gideon's going to die?
Yeah,
That's
I
a
think
prediction.
they
so.
kill. Yeah, I think they kill Gideon off just because I don't know
They
what else to do
kill
with that
they
guy.
kill Gideon
So-
off, and then Thrawn is revealed.
No.
Yep, calling it.
Listen, Gus Fring in Breaking Bad worked in a certain way of how creepy he was, but the show as a whole didn't feature any overt acts of masculinity and power and strength. This show is all about there's a lot of strength and there's a lot of athleticism and kind of these overt acts. So get Gus Fring the fuck out of my face. I need someone evil and dark and like we talked about Ravi, like with they had the actual. I guess I don't want to spoil. I don't know what was the tweet that you were going to pull up. Is it related to was it the Jordan tweet? The Jordan fake tweet.
Yeah, I think it was that one. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I don't want to spoil that part, but I want someone that's I want that. I want this crazy, athletic, and frightening individual to go against Mando. I don't.
Right.
Gus, I'm sorry, but Gus Fring was terrifying because
Right.
he was credible.
He was
they're
he was a manipulator, not a fighter.
And they're gonna replace Giancarlo Esposito, according to Krishna and Navi, with the James Bond of the '90s, Pierce Brosnan.
Oh my God, is that true?
So
No.
the reason we bring this up, I think we've brought this up. We've brought this up like I think now 3 or 4 times. It's
300 or 400 times.
during the last year's Star Wars celebration. There was a gigantic banner up of basically all the major characters in Star Wars, and Thrawn was one of the characters because he made an appearance in the animated show Star Wars Rebels. And if you looked at the artwork, it looked a hell of a lot like Pierce Brosnan, but obviously blue like Thrawn. So
Wow.
the running joke that we've been doing is that it was revealed back then. For some reason, nobody else picked up on it, and Pierce Brosnan is Thrawn.
Yeah, it was definitely a likeness of Pierce Brosnan. Is it Brosnan or
This is
Brosnan?
Brosnan.
Brosnan.
And
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Brosnan.
Brosnan.
It was absolutely 100% his likeness. And Ravi's right. There was like a little chatter about it on Twitter, but because there's nothing confirmed with it, it's either the best kept secret or
Is it best kept or just no one cares about Pierce Brosnan?
Right.
So no one's
That
really
could also
bothered
be
to dig
part,
into it
yeah.
or anything.
But, I mean, Pierce Brosnan, though, would face the same issues that Giancarlo Esposito does. He's an old guy now. Like, how much action can he do? He would be...
I mean, many argue that he couldn't do much action to begin with. Going back to
James
James
Bond.
James Bond movie.
What do you mean? He
how
jumped off-
dare you?
He jumped
Gold
off
mine.
the
I'm
dam.
not saying I do like Pierce Brosnan as James Bond, but one of the chief complaints was that he wasn't a huge action star.
He jumped off a
Though
dam.
to be fair, James Bond really before Daniel Craig was not all about like big physical action, right? It was about being a suave, cool spy. But now people retroactively have gone back and like Sean Connery wasn't a good action star, and whatever.
Right.
People are stupid.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Revisionist history. How about that?
Let's actually jump into theories here, because obviously we've got one episode left.
Oh, my God.
Last year with the season finale of Mandalorian, we got a cool episode where we got some more backstory in terms of who's who. Obviously, the biggest reveal that had all of the nerds going, "What the fuck?" was the reveal of the dark saber.
Yeah.
What do we think is going to happen here? Do we think there's going to be a new product launch? I mean, excuse me. Sorry. Do we think there's going to be a new reveal of the scale of like a dark saber. I would say one of my I don't complain a lot about this season, but one of my complaints of this season has
There's not
been
enough toys for you?
well, no. There's never, ever not enough toys, Arjuna. Was the fact that we didn't get a whole lot of info on the Darksaber. We're one episode left, and this mythical weapon has been mentioned, I believe, once in the Bo-Katan episode, and then that's it. So...
Rabbi, it's because the Darksaber is getting its own spin-off. Called Star Wars, the Darksaber.
Arjuna, my goodness.
I mean, come on. I mean, it's more likely than not.
And guess what? And guess what? For everyone listening and watching, Arjuna will probably watch it if there was a spin-off.
Wait, he would?
Yes, he would.
Fair.
He's going to watch
now.
every single fucking...
I would not watch a
You're
show
watch-
about the fucking Darksaber.
Arjuna, hey, here's a fun fact. I love me my Star Wars, right? But I know when to not watch bad Star Wars, okay? Arjuna here sat, and how much of Star Wars Resistance, the animated show, did you get through?
About 10 episodes.
That's 10 more than you should have.
Yeah, I still gave it a chance, and then I've decided I'm not going to watch this because it's not good.
Doesn't matter.
Can I say-
I knew from the first episode.
The problem is who's wielding the dark saber.
Okay.
It's not wrong. It's not wrong.
Yeah.
I just don't. Short of him walking through a hospital, just going room to room with dark saber, it's gonna make me get back on board with him being scary.
All right. How about this? We put Moff Gideon in a robot suit. Does that make him scarier? We put him in a Gundam.
How about this? Moff Gideon gets destroyed in the next episode, and then in the first episode of season 3, he comes back as this half android, creepy looking thing, like almost like General Grievous-esque, where it's not even really the actor; it's just this like CG thing.
So not to shit on video games, because I do love video games. But Mandalorian has become a video game plot, right? There's a big bad, and then you kill the big bad, and then there's another big bad behind the big bad. And you do all, and like Zach was saying with the Grand Theft Auto thing, there's quest lines, and then there's the overarching quest, and you do all the busy work until you get to that final quest, because you build up and you get the items that you need to kill the big bad, and that we're just now in a point where it's a video game.
But isn't that Star Wars? I mean, episode 4 was go here, go there, do this, blow the thing up, get upgrades. Next episode, they're back. There's the bigger bad guy.
I mean,
repeat.
that's every story ever, right? I think the difference is
It's just more overt or more obvious, I feel like, in Mandalorian.
I guess it's the episodic nature of the show and that it's not a movie. So where I get frustrated is that like there are 3 episodes where like just make a multi-episode arc where there's like an overarching portion other than trying to get him from A to B to B to C to B to E, like have him stuck on one planet for 3 episodes battling with something that feels more than just like, you know,
the villain of the week. Right?
And
Like, that's what it was. That was the our gripes with the first half of the season was that it was the plot for the first 4 episodes or 3 episodes were exactly the same.
First
You had
5.
For maybe the whole season.
first, like,
I don't know.
4.
But
It was 5.
like
No, all the way up until the Ahsoka episode. It literally was meet a person, do a quest for the person to then help you.
yeah. For
did
Mendo
that-
to move
you did
on to
that
the
for
next
Timothy
part.
Oliphant's character. You
Yeah.
did that for Frog Lady in
Yeah.
2. In episode, what was episode 3?
Was it Grief Card? No, that was not.
That's 4. 3 is Bo-Katan. You do something for Bo-Katan.
Yeah, that's right.
4 was for Grief and Cara Dune. 5 was for Ahsoka. Literally every episode was meet people, do something for them, they help you out. Last week's episode was the first time this season where it wasn't do a and then it kind of in a way it was because it was just the reverse of Boba now doing something for Mando.
which I got frustrated because it so felt like I don't know if you guys played a lot of Grand Theft Auto. I think it was 4, where your cousin calls and it's like, my
Cousin, Nico!
Cousin! My cousin! It's like, Mando, my cousin! No! I have to take this kid home. He's gonna eat everything if I don't.
Zach, you're known a little bit around the internet and on Twitter as like
The meme.
the meme guy. So
You
can
got 2
we
memes. You got 2
expect-
memes here.
Can we expect a series of Grand Theft Auto 4 Mandalorian memes. Can we expect this?
Wait, Zach. You remember when you first start Grand Theft Auto 4? Your cousin owns the taxi service.
Yeah.
Right. So you literally have to have I think the cousin's name was Roman, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So you have like Fat Roman with the taxi, and then Mando like going into the taxi, having to do the goddamn missions for it.
Oh my god! I forgot about the taxi, the whole part of the taxi service.
Yeah.
But what an even more damning thing on this series that Mando is basically a taxi driver.
Yeah. It's a perfect metaphor. Honestly, I honestly think you should.
Yeah,
You should
This
just
has
do
gotta be a thing. I don't know. It's,
Oh my god!
So moving into theories for next episode, how is this wrapping? What's give me really quick. Give me how you want it to end, how you think it's going to end.
my
Or
God.
Christian, we'll start with you.
all right, this is how I want it to end. I want Grogu to die.
What the fuck?
But he comes
Yeah.
back. He comes back as a Force ghost that haunts Mandalorian. Like honestly,
Oh my god!
it's like it would be like such a mind fuck.
shit.
You know, like it will never happen. And honestly, I can't even say that's what I want to happen. That's just like
That's just
it's
you
just
being
extreme.
That's you trolling.
yeah, that's me trolling for sure. I think what I would really like to see is Thrawn to come in as the big bad. He reveals himself as the Palpatine to this show, right? The puppet master behind everything. Yeah, that's basically what I want to see happen. I also don't want Grogu rescued. I want him to be kept by the Empire and then maybe twisted just a little bit more, where he turns, at least for the first half of the next season, where he's like a dark force, dark side user. So Mando has to fight Grogu, but Grogu is now using the dark side exclusively, right? And then Mando has to use his father-son connection to bring him back. That would be pretty cool.
So that's how you think it will end.
No, that's how I want it to
Yeah,
happen.
that's
Yeah,
how you-
but I
Here's-
want to know
here's-
quickly how you want it, how you think it's going to end.
This is how I think it's going to end.
Yes.
Is Mando versus Moff Gideon, Dark Saber versus Beskar Spear. You know, I think then Mando gets captured, but Boba Fett swoops in and rescues Grogu. So Boba is now running around with Grogu, while Mando is held by the Empire for the end of the season.
What the fuck? Like, honestly, what the fuck?
I just threw out every scenario that can happen.
Okay, Arjuna, you go, but again, be quick and concise with this.
I was
How
concise.
do you think it will end, and how do you want it to end?
I want it to end with Luke showing up. I think it will end with Moff dying.
I like that. See, Christian, that was
Wow.
concise and to the point.
Yeah, but it's boring.
Zach, go ahead. What do you think? How is it gonna end? How do you want it to end?
I think you guys are both very right with the Beskar versus the Dark Saber. I think that's for sure happening. Just get Moff Gideon the fuck out of my face. That's all I want.
Arjuna, on
That's
our
it.
outline, just write that. Get Moff Gideon the fuck out of my face.
That's what Zach wants. That's what Zach wants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I will get that. I don't think they haven't laid enough groundwork for him to be much more than this, and it's a shame because he's a talented actor. Just next, please.
Onto bigger and better things, hopefully.
And then I want it to end with
His own spinoff.
yes, actually.
Yes.
No, I want it to end with Mando's gonna get Boba's ship. He's gonna get Slave One. That's how I want it to end.
You don't think that's gonna happen? That's exactly what's gonna happen.
No, I don't think it will.
Oh, okay.
How it's gonna end? I think I agree with I think with your initial one, which is Beskar Saber sword versus Dark Saber. And maybe they'll throw a line in there where it's like, well, I got the Dark Saber from Darth Maul, and then everyone's gonna lose their fucking minds and be like, that makes no sense.
So that was one of my most. Remember, we did our season 2 bold predictions after the first episode, and I was hoping that we were going to get like a Dark Saber backstory in terms of just what necessarily happened with the Dark Saber, how it got into Moff's hands, and that was actually going to be how they introduced all the rebel characters, like with Bo and Ahsoka and maybe Sabine, and maybe even throwing a little Darth Maul in there. Why don't you? Even though I guess you can't do that anymore because of reasons with the actor.
That turned out to be a hacking.
Oh, so he's fine now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, so you could do that then. Yeah, that's fine.
We don't venture oftentimes onto Twitter on here, but Liz Loza has an interesting comment. Boba Fett is just an Iron Man ripoff. Fight me. Hashtag Star Wars.
What?
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's a good
I
one.
disagree with that because Iron Man has better characterization than Boba Fett.
You should respond
well,
with that,
no,
actually. That's good.
Well, a ripoff, by definition, is like a lesser
That's
version,
true.
right?
That's true.
So yeah, I mean that's interesting. Liz is clearly wrong, obviously. Iron Man shoots lasers out of his palm.
Oh my God,
Boba
Christian,
Fett
shut up.
carries a pistol and has a rocket that comes out of a backpack.
You
And he
take
has a
things
cape.
way too literal.
Yeah,
like,
well, that's the way you
jeez.
gotta go.
And by Christian's logic, he also has a dent in his helmet. So it's very different.
Yeah, real quick. He fixes the armor, shines it up, but he doesn't pop out the dent.
It's a character.
Yeah, he wants to show that he's he's just like everybody else.
Maybe you
It's to
can't.
show that time has passed.
Maybe you can't undent Beskar.
It's not Beskar. It's Mithril? Not Mithril. I want to say Mithril.
We're in the fucking Lord of the Rings now.
Yeah,
It's
Star Wars,
it
Lord of the
starts.
Rings,
It's a
is that the
material that
next
starts
spin-off?
with an M. Minotaur, something of that nature.
How come it's not Beskar?
Not every Beskar's expensive and it is rare in this universe.
Django was a rich guy.
I
He was
mean,
after
not
the
really.
clones- after the clone stuff, wasn't he? He got paid pretty well.
Sure, but remember,
Oh,
their
but Boba
armor
was,
though
by himself.
isn't like stuff that you go out and buy per se. It's
Right.
it's more like you
Handed
do
down.
yeah, handed down or you do certain things or whatever.
You collect
Mando's
it.
armor, he's the first of that, whatever, and with hopes of passing his armor down to the child maybe one day. So,
Cool.
all right, folks, I think it's that time where we run around and ask if this was good. Christian, as you're still bald, I'm gonna let you go first to decide who you want to ask that question to.
Well, let's go to our guest, Zach Schwartz. Was Chapter 15 of The Mandalorian good?
Yeah. Yes, I thought this episode was good. I know you bag on it and make fun and for whatever reason really want Moff Gideon to attack people in a hospital. but I did think the episode was really well done, and that's kind of my the two sides of the sword with this series for me is that like it shows when it's really really well done what it can be, and I think Bill Burr is tremendous, and I thought this was just a great episode. So yeah, it was great.
Nice. And then Zach, you get to ask somebody else the same question.
Ravi, was it good?
Pause for dramatic effect.
Wow.
Yes, it was good. It was great. The one part we didn't talk about, which is a very small part, the seismic charge out of Slave One.
Oh, yeah. Iconic.
I'm all here for that. I mean, do you all remember when you were in the theater and you saw episode 2?
That was the coolest part.
And
maybe.
the speaker systems blew out
Yeah.
because of that
Are you
sonic
talking
noise.
about the shitty Derry, New Hampshire theater
Yeah.
speakers?
Oh, yeah.
Remember that one movie with what's his name, Ethan Hawke, the vampire one we saw, and there was a speaker that was dead, and the movie sounded awful because
Sounded
the
like
speaker
underwater.
was dead. It was like, I was like, that's all I
It's
remember.
New Hampshire theaters.
Anyway, Arjuna, was Mandalorian good?
Yes, it was. This was the best episode of the season. I really liked the character development. I thought that finally we got an episode that felt a little different than what we've gotten. Thought Bill Burr did an excellent job as Migs. And I thought you got a lot of development with Mando, which I think there have been very small parts throughout the season, but we got a lot in this episode. So that was kind of nice to have. And it was just kind of nice not to, honestly, we didn't talk about this, but, the child Grogu wasn't in this episode. And I thought that actually helped the episode a lot because I feel like, especially this season, there's been so much screen time dedicated to gifts and merchandising of the child. As Zach says, he just is a hungry motherfucker that eats stuff. And
You always say to spit his water out.
Is he gonna be Jabba the Hutt sized when he's grown up?
Could be. Get that kid on Atkins. I don't know.
Oh man.
Hungry motherfucker. Wow.
And finally, Krishna, was this episode of The Mandalorian good?
It was good. The only thing that would have made it better was be more bald characters like Darth Maul, The Rock. I don't know who The Rock would
do you
play,
consider
but-
Jar Jar Binks a bald character?
No.
Yeah, well,
Well,
yeah,
I mean, he
because
doesn't have
that's his
hair.
those are his ears.
Those are his ears.
Yeah.
Let's go.
But do the Gungans grow hair of any type on their heads?
I believe the boss one, the main Gungan, had some kind of like hair fluffy thing
The
under
fat
his
one?
Yeah, the fat one under his hat.
Oh, what Grogu will grow up to?
Grogu's idol.
But I will say this: agree with everyone who said Bill Burr. It was like a blast of fresh air. It was great. It was, I think, exactly what we needed at the perfect time. Very excited for next week, the finale. Real quick though, over 55 minutes for the finale. I'm gonna take the over.
I'm taking the under.
Wow, you think it's be under 55
Under
minutes?
55 minutes, yeah.
Interesting. All right.
Zach, what do you think for the runtime?
Over 55.
Nice.
I hope. I want as much run. Like, I think it's such a great series in total, so I will miss it. But I need answers because it just doesn't feel like we got a ton so far.
Yeah. All right, we're split down the middle.
None on that dark saber. So
Yeah.
Zach, thank you so much for joining us. Is there a place our friends and viewers and all those can find you? And is there anything you want to plug?
Sure. I am now working for a company called Wave TV. Check them out on Instagram. Follow the Buckets Instagram account and the Wave TV Instagram accounts.
Nice.
And me on Twitter. So that's it.
Awesome. Thank you again. And as always, guys, you can find us on Twitter at Was It Good, on Instagram at Was It Good BTM. This podcast is filmed every Monday and Friday live on twitch.tv/wasitgood. Feel free to jump in, talk to us, all that fun stuff. Good day.
Goodbye.
Should I stop the record now?
Yes, now you stop the record, Arjuna. He's like, I didn't hit the record on the audio. Whoops.
Oh, shit.
Oh, man. And those
Good
for
shit.
still listening, actually, we'll jump to some of the questions. That I did see a bunch. I did see a bunch of questions or comments
No
in the
comments. I don't
chat.
see too many questions.
From YouTube, this is the way. Moff Gideon is literally the biggest catter wannabe ever. Who's catter? Cader.
Cater?
Cater.
Or is it Vader? It might be a misspelling.
Vader? Right?
Vader.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the C
Vader
is,
makes sense.
Yeah.
yes, the C is right next to the V on the keyboard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Vader. Okay, so Din
Djarin.
Djarin.
Wait, the Mandalorian was the one commenting.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Well, how's that work?
What have you become?
I know, it's weird.
Oh man. Lauren WW said regarding Paul Pierce Brosnan, Mamma Mia. He's totally an action star based off of that. I've never seen Mamma Mia.
Never will.
I actually haven't either.
Zach,
Thomas
I feel like you have.
Crosshair. I don't believe I have.
Nice.
Thomas
Zach, are you a
Crosshair.
fan? Are you a fan of musicals?
I loved La La Land. Like I loved that movie for whatever reason. Yeah, I don't know why.
Okay,
I
well,
love Los Angeles though, so that's kind of my own weirdo hill
that
to
makes
die
sense.
on. But that's about it. I won't do a lot of the other ones.
Nice. Yeah, Lauren has been trying to force musicals and Star Wars holiday specials on us, and we're just like, no.
Hey, question: have you guys seen the movie The Holiday?
The holiday.
No, I have not.
Wait, let me see.
It's
here.
got Cameron Diaz and Jude Law. And
Oh,
I know
Jack Black and yeah.
That is my new greatest Christmas movie of all time.
Wow.
Really?
Really?
Is it better than Jingle All the Way? I don't think so.
Yeah, nothing beats
It's
Jingle All the Way.
Is it better than
Two.
Iron Man 3?
Is that a Christmas movie?
Takes place during Christmas.
Then yes, it is. Iron Man 3 is awful.
Wait, Zach, serious question. Is it better than Home Alone 3?
Oh, shit.
Home Alone 2. That was mine. Yes, in my opinion, now it is better than that.
Wow.
It's great, man. It's a great, have some drinks, maybe smoke a little bit. Just be cozy. It's a wonderful movie. Very lighthearted, fun.
Okay.
You get all the settings of, it plays in two different settings, so you get kind of both, because no one appreciates what LA Christmas is like, because it isn't very Christmassy,
Right.
but they nail it in this movie.
Cool.
I'll say this. Jude Law. There's this HBO show that came out a few months ago called The Third Day, and in the show he plays this regular guy, and he slowly goes mad and becomes a cult leader. And I just can't look at Jude Law the same way anymore. So
Did you just spoil it for me?
Are you going to watch it?
I was gonna watch it.
No, you don't need to now.
what? No,
You're
I mean,
welcome.
no. It's very obvious that he
That's the
becomes,
premise.
that's the premise
Yeah.
of the show.
Uh-huh.
Anyway,
Uh-huh.
What Star Wars character does Jude Law need to play? He would be a great Thrawn.
they should recast Moff Gideon
Oh god.
just for Zach.
As Jude
Yes.
Law. Interesting.
I don't think it's the actor though for Moff Gideon. It's,
No,
the,
it's
it's the
writing.
lack of
It's the
writing
it's
and
the-
directing.
He
Yeah.
doesn't have any scenes.
Yeah, he's just not around enough.
Yeah. He doesn't do anything.
Zach, you're being requested to join our holiday Christmas podcast.
Okay.
Oh, right, there
When,
you go. We got an answer. He said okay.
When is it? I should be. I'm down.
I think I don't know when's the next one.
I don't know if it's this Wednesday or next Wednesday. They haven't. said.
Yeah. And just to be clear here, it's not any of us on it. It's Arjuna and mine's girlfriend run our holiday podcast. So you'd be with a bunch of women. So.
I love it. I grew up, not house divided, but did both, the Hanukkah and Christmas.
Oh,
So
nice.
I really speak all angles here. So
There we go. Some
would love
perspective.
it. Let me know.
They're looking at this
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Okay.
There you go.
This coming Wednesday, yeah, I should be able to do that. Wednesday night, I assume.
Yeah, most likely.
Cool.
We
Yeah.
can't not do this during the day. We should announce our winners for the holiday ornaments. I would show you what they are, but I do not have them with me. So we had two that we're giving away, but one on Twitter and one on Instagram. On the Twitter side, it's going to be at Dalcupi. I don't know. I think I totally butchered that name.
I don't have the name.
Dolcupi, like
Dolcupi.
Cupi.
Cupi.
Like Dolcupi.
Dolcupi. Okay, so Dolcupi, you just won one of these Mandalorian ornaments. We'll be sending them out hopefully soon, so you can hang it up or put it wherever you want. Oh, hold on. Don't toss them. Thank you.
Randomly, they have appeared.
So you're gonna walk away. I feel like a game host. You're gonna get this beautiful Mandalorian Christmas ornament. Come on, you stupid camera, focus.
Pull it back.
Just pull up the LED, the screen, and autofocus it.
It's a lot of work.
There you go.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Look at that. That you're gonna get hopefully before the holidays. You can put it on your tree. You can put it next to your cat litter box.
What?
Do whatever the hell you want with it.
Why would you put it there?
And then on the Instagram
Hey, we're
side,
blurry.
Huh?
Carry on.
on the Instagram side, at Leo Vilches,
Sure.
you won this also Mandalorian, the child ornament. Wow, beautiful.
Wow.
So
The fun thing with this is it will eat all the snacks you leave out for Santa Claus.
There you go. So no wasted food.
Is the child Santa Claus?
Man.
I believe so. I believe that's the case. Oh, you want me to make you guys not blurry?
That'd be nice.
I have all the power.
Do you want to mute him?
I could mute him. That's fair.
I can scream.
I could take the camera off of you.
Okay, I think that's everything for us. Yeah, any last questions? You got about 60 seconds, and then we're going to get out of here. I need to get more water. My throat is hurting.
Wow.
So, actually, you don't get 60 seconds. We're going to go right this second. So, Zach, thank you again, as always. And
Of
again,
course.
make sure you follow us on all those platforms. And Zach's Twitter and Instagram is right up here in the corner. So make sure you give him a follow. He does some really funny meme stuff.
Yeah.
And he's
Usually, it's no longer Ravi's headache to deal with. So.
This is true. This is very true.
And to tease some of Zach's upcoming work, he will be doing a Grand Theft Auto 4 Mandalorian.
Oh, I'm very excited for this.
I'm mad I didn't think to make it weeks ago. God
It's
damn
not-
it. But
it's not
if
too
you can
late.
Get it before the next episode.
It's not too
Yeah.
late.
Yeah. And
I think I
was it good? We'll retweet the hell out of it. Not that
I
that means
appreciate
much,
it.
but we'll.
No, I'll take it. I'll take it.
We'll totally steal those. Nice.
All right, cool. Let's get out.
All right, bye guys.
See ya.